The good results earned by offering food to devotees of Datta. Sri Palani Swami said, "This serpent was a female in previous life. She became old. She had some sin and also some virtue. Once she offered some food to a Brahmin who was a devotee of Datta. It is the nature of Datta to be pleased very easily. The lady went to Yamlok after her death. Yam Dharma Raja asked her, 'You have earned some sin and some merit, as you offered food to a Brahmin who was a Datta devotee. You received very great benefit. At present, Sri Dattatreya lives in the human world in the form of Sripada Srivallabha. He ordered us to make changes in your account of your merit and sin so that you gain great merit and take less sin. So, Chitragupt made some changes in your account. Do you want to experience the results of sin at first or enjoy the happiness of merit?' For this she replied that she would like to undergo at first the suffering on account of the small amount of sins, that she would enjoy the life resulting from the merit later. Therefore she took birth as a snake on this earth. As she had a mentality of harming others, she was biting all those who crossed her way. So she was accumulating more sin. My dear, there are 4 classes of snakes. The first type of snake will not harm anyone but simply take air as food and live like yogis. The second type of snakes will kill those whose shadow falls on them. They become angry when the shadow of anyone falls on them. The third class of serpents will try to keep away even from the view of humans. They run away with the fear if any person comes face to face with them. The fourth class of snakes will take a revengeful attitude against anyone and bite him even though no harm is caused to them by the person concerned. That lady was filled with rajas, so it bit Madhav, who came nearby. She had bitten him because of the merit earned in the previous birth. Madhav lost his life because of the sin earned in his previous life. By the grace of Sripada Srivallabha, that old woman and the form of snake was liberated from the serpent life and attained a higher world. As an embryo, the jiva lies in the form of a serpent in the fetus stage. On account of Nagdosh, mortality of children takes place. Donating food to a yogi. Sri Palani Swami said, Sri Datta will be delighted for very modest services. If food is provided in the name of Datta to a worthy person, the donor derives immense benefit. A portion of the food essence transforms into mind. Mind, intellect, will, ego and body of the donor of the food gets filled with auspicious vibrations. By that, he will be endowed with the power to attract all objects in the creation. Plentiful of materials comes from the grace of Goddess Mahalakshmi. The whole creation is governed by subtle vibrations and fine regulation. Sri Palani Swami explained. The greatness of Sripada Srivallabha. Chanting the name of Sripad brings wealth and prosperity as blessings of Sri Lakshmi. How can we describe the luck of those who obtain his grace? On account of the mercy of Sripad, Madhava remained intact even though he was buried in the ground 10 days before. Now, Sri Sripad is granting him life force. How can one explain the grace, mercy and the divine miracle of Sripad Srivallabha? Madhava was gaining consciousness. He asked for water for quenching his thirst. Sri Palani Swami compelled him and made him drink ghee, that is, the clarified butter. That ghee was also 100 years old. Madhav refused to drink the ghee. Sri Palani Swami persuaded him by promising to give him water after he drank the entire ghee. After Madhav drank the ghee completely, he was given fruit juice. After some time, water was then given to him. Description of Nagloks. Madhava regained his life. Our joy knew no bounds. Madhav was telling, I reached Kurvapuram in the subtle form. Sripad Srivallabha is very tall. He has large eyes. Compassion, mercy and love overflows from his eyes continuously towards all the creatures. As I was in a subtle body, I was invisible to other devotees there who were in their gross bodies. Sripad Srivallabha ordered me to go to the middle of the island in Kurvapuram. Chanting the name of Sripad Srivallabha, I went into the depths from the middle of the island. I noticed that many fortified structures existed in the depths of the earth at its center point. I learned that it was Patal Lok. For those in their gross bodies, only gross material forms will be visible. For those like me who go there in subtle form, the subtle world is visible there. The inhabitants there belong to the Nag race. They have the power to take any form they like. They usually prefer to be in the serpent or snake form only. I saw many great serpents there. Some serpents had thousands of hoods. Diamonds decorated their hoods. Light emitted from those diamonds. Some serpents remained in a posture of deep silence and appeared as if they were in a yogic trance. A wonder, there was a great serpent among them. It had thousands of hoods. On that serpent, Sripad Srivallabha was resting like Sri Mahavishnu. Some of the great snakes were reciting Vedic hymns. Sripad was listening to that melodious singing in a blissful mood. The big serpent beside me was saying this: the magnificent glory of Sri Dattatreya. In the ancient era, Lord Datta was born as a son of Atri and Anusaya on Anusaya mountain in Chitrakoot of Nepal. He did not end his incarnation but moved in a subtle form in the Nilgiri mountain, Sri Shaila mountain, Shabaragiri hill and Shayadri hills. Those who wear directions as robe, those who are sky-vested, are famous as Digambaras. Datta was absorbed in yoga in Shayadri hill. He taught Kriya Yoga to Gorakhnath, who was a follower of the Nath tradition. He appeared to a yogi named Jnaneshwar in a formless yogic form seated in Kechari Mudra. He surpasses time and place. For us who are in the presence of the Lord, past, future and present time elements do not appear differently. Everything is an eternal present time for us. Viewing Dattatreya along with Anagha Devi. Another great serpent by my side said, "My boy Madhav, we are Kal Nagas and we are called Rishivaras." Sri Datta wanted to conceal himself after ruling over the universe for many thousands of years. He went underwater in a river and remained immersed in water for many years. Then he came to the surface. We, as his followers, remained there with the hope that he would return with us. We knew that he was trying to conceal himself from us. He again dived into the water and came out after many years. However, this time he had a goblet of wine in his hand. In another hand, he held a beautiful young girl of 16 years. We went away regretting that we misunderstood him as a god, and he seemed to be a drunkard and a womanizer. He then disappeared. After he disappeared, our eyes got opened. It occurred to us that the goblet of wine in his hand was rather ambrosia of yogic ecstasy, and the beautiful young girl on his other hand was Anagha Devi, who combined in herself the trio of Lakshmi, Parvati and Saraswati. We undertook a rigorous penance for his reincarnation on this earth. Sri Datta was compassionate and took the incarnation of Sripada Srivallabha in Pithikapuram thereafter. Description of Sri Kuruvapuram. The place where we went into the water for bath is now the sacred Kuruvapuram. Just as he was in the watery samadhi, we were also in a state of yogic samadhi with finer pulsations in this subtle world. Kuru was the ancestor of Kauravas and Pandavas. It was at his holy place that King Kuru was imparted divine knowledge. My dear Madhava, even Adi Shesh cannot describe the greatness of Kuruvapuram. The previous history of Sadashiv Brahmendra Swami. I paid obeisance to the holy feet of Sripada Srivallabha. Merciful Sri Vallabha spoke, "My son, this divine form of my darshan is very rare and a great fortunate thing. One of the serpents that spoke with you will take birth as Jyoti Ramalinga Swami in the ensuing centuries. It will disappear also in the shape of radiant light. The other serpent that spoke to you will be born on the earth in the centuries to follow with the name of Sada Shiva Brahmendra Swami and will demonstrate many miracles. Pithikapuram is very dear to me. My padukas will be installed in Pithikapuram. My padukas are going to be installed in the house of my maternal grandfather where I was born. The acts of my birth are divine and mysterious. They are to be kept as carefully guarded secrets. You visit the place in Pithikapuram where my padukas will be installed, and from there proceed to Patal Lok. There you will meet the Kal Nagas which undertook rigorous penance. You come back after that." With smiles, Sri Palaniswami said, "My son Madhav, let us talk about the Kal Nagas of Pithikapuram afterwards. We must immediately take bath and carry on meditation." This is the order of Sripad Srivallabha. Om Shri Sai Nathaya Namaha.